Sorry, can you just give me 1 second? Just 1 second, please. Anyone else? No.
A bit quieter today, isn't it? How you doing?
That's fun.
Good yourself?
Good. New kid's nice.
How are you? It is, it's very nice, isn't it? Class jersey.
Thanks, everyone. If you could place your Dick's phone, please. We'll get going. Catherine, one kick off. Michael? You can chat after.
Oh, you want to ask a question?
It's okay.
I kind of feel.
Part.
Thank you, Peter. Hi, Caelan.
Good.
I just worry about Caelan, more about what he's like off the pitch, and obviously what you may have learned from him as a player as well. Very different positions, but still as an inspiration or whatever, but also a bit about him off the pitch.
Yeah, he's a great fella, very popular amongst the squad. It's funny, like I've obviously watched him from not quite my primary school days, but early secondary school days, and remember him exploding onto the scene and changing what it was to be a prop. He was so dynamic. Some of his carries back then, we were actually watching some of his highlights during the week from his debut against Australia, funny enough, in Croke Park. But some of his carries so explosive, like stepping backs, his skill set, and his longevity has been unbelievable. Like 134 caps is just wild, and how many he's had with Leinster as well. I think that's in large part testament to how well he looks after himself. I had the pleasure of rooming with him in Ireland for about 4 years, and he's up to all sorts of tricks in terms of his recovery. Sometimes sleeping on the ground with his legs elevated, sleeping on like acupressure mats, mindfulness in the evenings, all sorts of cold showers, all sorts of different little hacks, loads of stretching, and it stood to him in terms of his body and the ability to stay going at this age. He's very much so his own man as well. Pete was kind of saying during the week how he hasn't changed a whole lot since when he first came in. He's got his own unique and obscure hobbies and does his own thing off the pitch, but yeah, he's true to himself, which is a good thing.
Yeah. When you say unique and obscure hobbies?
Knife making, did rollerblading when he was younger, big into coffee, a bit of a coffee snob, these sort of things.
Okay, are there any questions for this live section? So if you can raise your hand.
Yeah, actually, just Caelan, you had your jerseys presented by Ollie Campbell last night. Can you just tell us a bit about that and how it went?
Yeah, it was very cool. Obviously, given the week, it's one in celebrating the history of Irish rugby, so it's a special week in celebrating that, and he's obviously been a key figure and had a pretty big role in the history of Irish rugby with the 1982 Five Nations back then, his part in the Triple Crown, I think it was, wasn't
it?
Yeah.
82.
82, yeah. Yeah, he was speaking to Cian, obviously both old Belvo guys, but he was just saying how it's a unique jersey to represent, and what makes it special are the people who get to wear it, and the pride and honour in it.
Yeah.
Caelan, Joe Schmidt was saying he was keen to catch up with Andy Farrell before the match. Do you know if they've done that yet, or if they plan to today?
I have no idea, to be honest.
Are the squad really aware of Joe's obviously insider knowledge and obviously how big a game it is for the Wallabies? Because if they could go back to Australia 3 from 4, it would be massive ahead of the British and Irish Lions.
Yeah, we're definitely aware of what's at stake. It's a big game for us as well. We have the chance to go 3 from 4 and kind of improve our performance based off. I think a lot lies on this weekend in terms of the success of Oldham for us and how that's viewed in terms of how we get our performance right. Because last week was obviously good. First half was good against Argentina. We weren't where we needed to be against the All Blacks. So if we can show the progression in our performance this week, I think there's a lot on the line there. In terms of Joe having insight, it's probably evolved quite a bit. There's definitely his stamp on the game within Ireland is definitely still there as well. The professionalism that he brought the game to, and a lot of the habits and his focus on building the right habits is still there, but there's been evolutions there as well, I would say.
Ed, last question for the live section.
Hi, Darren. Sorry, Mark.
Oh, yeah.
Australia obviously disappointing World Cup last year, and they've changed coach since. What have you made of them this year and this month, and how big a test is this?
Yeah, I think it's been a pretty steady growth. you saw through the Rugby Championship definitely improvements in how they were playing from the start. And then in the autumn, like against England and Wales in particular, they were very impressive. You can see they're very passionate about their attack. You can see Joe's stamp on the game in terms of their sort of trick plays in their first 2-3 phases, and coming up with different unique plays around that to break down defences. So we're going to have to be on high alert there. But no, they've definitely improved a ton this season, and yeah, we're ready for a big challenge.
It's obviously Andy's last match tomorrow before he leaves for the Lions, and that's been mentioned a lot this month. But now that it is the last match, Andy said yesterday, for example, that he thinks it'll be a seamless transition for Simon taking over. How do you view it as players now that it is an England departure?
I haven't thought too much about it, to be honest with you. Definitely have a lot of faith in the other coaches as well. Like Faz is unbelievable, and when you've got such a big figure leaving, you kind of think there will be a void, but it does tend to happen. I know from the likes of Sexton and Earlsey leaving, it kind of gets filled. Of course you miss them, but the void gets filled by other people stepping up, and the load being spread across the group a little bit more. So I'm not sure how it's going to work, but there's definitely a lot of trust in the other guys as well.
Okay, that's it for the live section. Thank you. Simon, do you want to kick off? This is embargo.